Live from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet presents NCAA Division II women's basketball coverage. This afternoon's matchup features the Spartans of St. Thomas Aquinas College taking on the College of Staten Island Dolphins. Good morning, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman alongside Nick Durst. And Nick, this is the home finale for the College of Staten Island. No seniors to speak of for this Dolphins team, but they are looking to snap a 5-game losing streak, hoping to end the season strong on their home floor.
Joe, it's very hard to believe this is the last day of basketball here live from the tank on the College of Staten Island. It's been a really fun season. It's been a real pleasure to broadcast all these games with you this season. But the Dolphins here coming in 6-19, 4-13 in the ECC. But this should be a good competitive game. Looking to snap that 5-game losing streak and end this season on a high note with a victory.
Well, speaking of a good time, Nick, you and I, not limited to covering basketball. We spent a
great
weekend at the Mets Swimming and Diving Championships, and coming up soon, the return of baseball and softball. So stay tuned to CSI Sportsnet for that in the coming weeks. But Nick, you mentioned it, and I opened the show with it. The Dolphins come in on a 5-game losing streak. All 5 losses suffered in conference. The Dolphins looking to snap that losing streak today, but there were some standout performances through that losing streak. Definitely some bright spots to speak of.
Yeah, so we'll start with the game versus Bridgeport. All right, so a bit of a trip, but the Dolphins they hung tough for the most part. Esposito, she's been great this year, and a lot of times she's coming off the bench, for instance, offense. She's been starting a lot as late. She had 12 points in that game. Jennalise Alarcon, a multi-time ECC Player of the Week and Rookie of the Week, of course.
Right.
11 points. LaFaro, she had 11 points. Lizzie's been great this season as well. And Kaya Johnson led the way in that game with 15 points.
And speaking of Jennalise Alarcon, she registered a double-double in CSI's next game against Queens. Didn't shoot it well, only 3 of 9, but registered 10 points and 12 rebounds. And you mentioned Gia Esposito. Yeah. Against the Knights, she had 22 points. Not only has she been scoring the basketball quite a bit, but she's been very clutch for this Dolphins team as well.
Yeah, she's been money, hence her nickname, G-Money. And 22 points in that game, 20 points in that game, excuse me. She's been incredible, instant offense for the most part, and we had a great interview with her the last time we were here, and we spoke with her about the fact that she's had to distribute the ball a lot this season, which is something she didn't do a lot of in high school, and her passes have been crisp, incredible, and she's been able to find the open shooters quite often because of her offense. Everyone's keying on her, thinking she's going to take the ball to the hoop and score, but she's a very willing passer, kicking it out to the open shooters in the corners, such as Ashley Lambert, or maybe we call her now Cashley.
That's right. Gia Esposito certainly proving to be one of the more versatile Dolphins, doing a great job running the high pick and roll, definitely a threat to shoot from beyond the arc, but also a threat to find the cutting teammates open around the rim. So the third game in that Dolphins 5-game losing streak, another solid performance for Esposito. She had 22, and you mentioned Cashley Lambert. She also scored it well in that game.
G-Money and Cashley leading the way. Lambert, 17 points, so tremendous job by the two of them there. Dolphins scored 59 points in that game, lost by 60-59, really close game, and those two led the way offensively. Expect more of the same here today with those two offensively. Mix in Jennalise Alarcon. I'm going to call it out. Jennalise ends the season with another double-double.
Bold prediction from Nick. Can't bet that, but we are certainly looking for a double-double out of Jennalise, as the Dolphins are each and every game. Against UDC in the Dolphins' 4th of 5 losses, it was Lizzie LaFaro who stepped up in a big way. She scored 14 points. Another Dolphin who has really shown capability as both a scorer and a facilitator.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's kind of like a hybrid role for LaFaro this season. I would say she's been the point guard mostly, so she's been having to pass a lot, but she is a scorer. When she's open, she's going to take those shots, hence the 14 points in that game.
No double-digit scores for the Dolphins in their last game against Mercy, wrapping up this 5-game losing skid. The Dolphins hope to snap that losing streak today, but in that game, they shot only 28% from the field and 8% from beyond the arc. Certainly numbers they would like to improve upon, as we've said time and time again this year. The bright spot in their shooting numbers has been the three-point shooting, and without the three-point shot, the Dolphins have really struggled to stay in games.
Yeah, Joe, have mercy. 8% from three-point range. Yikes. But overall for the season, 31%, which is not too shabby. 33% field goal percentage for the season as well.
And they will be contending with a stacked Spartans team that comes in with a record of 12-14 on the season, 11-6 in conference play. So St. Thomas Aquinas College has done a great job in conference. The Dolphins hoping to disrupt that a bit as they also look to snap a 4-game winning streak for the Spartans as well.
Well, the Spartans they've been stacking those victories as of late. 4 straight. Last game a 74-61 win. And they're going to look to end the season hot here. They'll be going into postseason play, of course, here. 11-6 in the ECC, really fantastic for them this season.
One of their leading scorers against UDC in their last game was Victoria Carisco. She had 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists in the game. One of several double-digit scores for the Spartans in their last outing.
Yeah. Hey, Alexa Hortas, 13 points. She's the leading scorer in that game, and she's had an incredible season.
She has, and wrapping up their leading scorers, Chanel Brodeur-Muir. She had 14 points and 10 rebounds. Perhaps a battle on her hands between her and Jenelise Alarcon in this one. Definitely a matchup to watch.
Looking forward to it. 2 double-double machines going at it down in the paint. Now, what is of note here, you can't really see it too well on the camera, but when we walked in here this morning, the first thing I said to you, Joe, is, wow, Stack has the height advantage for sure. Multiple people here, all towering over the tallest player on the starting 5 of the Dolphins, Jenelise Alarcon. So we'll see if the size gets too much for the Dolphins here. Guaranteed Brianna Moore gets some early minutes to try to control the pace of the play in the paint.
We spoke about it throughout the season. The Dolphins have had some trouble contending with size from the opposition, and the rebounding battle certainly has not favored CSI throughout the season. That is going to be a point of emphasis for CSI in this game, as they may very well struggle against the size of the Stack Spartans team. Also, Stack comes in shooting at 37%. Not necessarily a great number, but definitely one that surpasses this Dolphins team, shooting down at 33% on the season. However, these two teams neck and neck in the three-point department, so that is perhaps one area the Dolphins can look to gain an advantage.
Yeah, Stack 32% with the three-pointers this season. Overall for the season, field goal percentage 37, so that is higher by the Dolphins by a little bit. I think the story of this game is going to be, are the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants out here today one last time at CSI? If they are, it's going to be a problem for the Dolphins to keep pace here. If they can control their turnovers early, hit their open threes, it should be a neck-and-neck game.
Protect the basketball, avoid unforced turnovers, and connect on their three-pointers. A recipe for success for the College of Staten Island this afternoon in their home season finale. They take on the Stacked Spartans on the other side of this break. East Coast Conference women's basketball coming up next on CSI Sportsnet.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
Number 2, Ashley Lambert.
The music is popping in here right now.
And we are back from the tank. CSI Sportsnet coverage of NCAA Division II women's basketball, an East Coast Conference matchup between the College of Staten Island and St. Thomas Aquinas College. And Nick, the starting lineups are being introduced out on the floor. You have those starting lineups in front of you.
All right, time for the starting lineups brought to you by the You Know I'm Right podcast. First up for St. Thomas Aquinas College, number 1, Alexa Huertas. Number 10, Sarah Erickson. Number 21, Victoria Carisco. Number 33, Aaron Leary. And number 35, Chanel Brodeur-Muir. Now for the CSI Dolphins. Number 2, the sophomore Ashley Lambert. Number 3, the freshman Noemia Masinge. Number 13, the freshman Jenelise Alarcon. Number 14, the freshman Lizzie LaFaro. And number 15, the sophomore Christina Aravello. Let's get ready for tip-off!
Tip-off upcoming from the tank. This is the season finale for the College of Staten Island. For Stack, they have one game left on the schedule after today's matchup with CSI, and the Dolphins win the tip. Arvello straight to the bucket, and it rolls off the rim, but she was fouled and will head to the line for two.
Well, 6 seconds into the game, Joe, and we already are going to see some free throws. When a foul happens that quick, Joe, I guess you could say the opposing team is already in foul trouble.
You certainly could make that contention early in this game as Arvello heads to the line for two shots. And the first is up and good. Christina Arvello on the season. As I try and find those numbers for you, I'm looking, and I don't see them in front of me.
Well, she makes both of those free throws, so good job
only
by Christina.
61%. First possession of the game for the Spartans. They have 20 to shoot. Huertas swings it over to the right wing for Erickson. Ball now in the corner with Leary. She looks to drive to her left, back to the basket. Feed inside, and going up in a double team was Brodor Muir, and she is called for traveling.
Well, the sisterhood of the traveling pants may be out early here, but great defense there by Alarcon and a team to force that travel.
Arvello to Lambert. Back up top to Masinghe. Now LaFaro in the corner. She tries the three. That's too long, and Alarcon has the board.
Alarcon's first rebound of the day.
Arvello for LaFaro. She drives right. Floater. And we have a whistle underneath for an offensive foul against Lizzie LaFaro.
Perhaps a bit too strong there, going to the rim. LaFaro picks up the foul.
Each team with an early turnover. Dolphins lead 2-0. On the drive, that's Erickson. Kick out. Back up top for Carisco. Brodor Muir. Another kick out for Carisco, and her shot rolls off the rim and is rebounded by Lambert. Arvello for Lambert. Now Arvello again. LaFaro, open three, right corner, no good. And Alarcon has another offensive rebound.
That's two.
Alarcon left wing, 12 on the shot clock. This is Arvello. Now LaFaro surveys the floor from the right corner. Lambert, top of the arc. Drives right, throws one up off glass, no good. And that is rebounded by Erickson. Sarah Erickson, this team's leading rebounder. Just over 5 per game, if I'm not mistaken. And that may have been a travel, but Brodor Muir got away with it, couldn't finish, and Masinghe pulls in the board. Lambert back out to Arvello inside of 20 to shoot. LaFaro for Lambert in the corner. Dolphins working it around the outside as LaFaro kicks out to Lambert, and Lambert's three is off back rim and rebounded by Erickson.
Plenty of missed shots here for both teams early on. Only points so far, Arvello's free throws.
And Brodor Muir is fouled underneath.
Arvello wanted a travel to be called there, but it's going to be a foul on Alarcon.
Dolphins foul number 15.
Oh, it's going on Arvello.
Her first, team's second.
Arvello picks up the personal. Her first and the team's second. And the first free throw from Brodor Muir is no good. And the Spartans are still in search of their first points. 2.5 minutes into the opening quarter.
Well, Joe, as Rasheed Wallace always says, ball don't lie. So maybe Arvello, some good karma for her there, where maybe her case of it was a travel perhaps was true.
LaFaro nearly lost it, finds an open Alarcon right corner. That shot way off. Lambert fighting for the rebound, and she secures it in the corner. Had it knocked away, but it remains Dolphins basketball.
Big rebound there by Lambert. And right now, the Dolphins are doing a great job on the offensive glass.
Alarcon already with a pair of offensive boards. Lambert adds one more right there. 5 to shoot for CSI. Shot fake by Lambert. She dumps it off to Alarcon, and we have a whistle, and I think Alarcon stepped on the baseline.
It's going to be a turnover. So the score will remain 2-0.
The inbounder tying her shoe along the baseline.
Joe, how do you feel about the white shoe with the black sock look?
You know, it's funny you mentioned that, Nick. I am absolutely not a fan of that combination. I'm one who always matches the socks with my footwear. As the first basket of the game for Stack belongs to Sarah Erickson. She rattles in the three as she also nearly came up with a steal off the inbound. Dolphins push. Lambert tries a three, and she answers right back. Ashley from downtown.
Back-to-back threes. Erickson said enough of this. We got to get on the scoreboard here. Ashley Lambert says, let's get a shot of our own. Big three-pointer to match it there.
Carisco goes right at Arvello.
Jump ball.
Jump ball, possession arrow favors the Spartans.
Great job across the way by the manual possession arrow, which would be the ACC, Joe Masha.
In the corner, this is Carisco back out to Huerta. She tries a three, and there's a third straight three-pointer between these two teams.
Alexa Huertas knocking down the three there, and the team is continuing to shoot the threes here. Might be their strategy moving forward.
Alarcon out to Lambert. She thought about the three and travels.
Lambert can't believe it. She did not think she'd travel there.
That turnover, number 3 for CSI, and we spoke about it during the pregame. The Dolphins have to protect the basketball to have a chance against this stacked team. Erickson kicks out into the left corner for Leary, and that is a third straight Spartans three-pointer.
You better be Leary when Leary's shooting the three, because she is able to knock those down. Aaron Leary with the big three from the corner.
And we have a whistle.
Foul on
Spartans foul number 35, Chanel Bernard-Muir.
Spartans. So Chanel Bordeaux-Muir picks up the foul.
That's the team's second, and her first personal. Dolphins have 16 to shoot. This is Lambert into the corner for Arvello, who is given space, and she knocks down a three.
Threes galore all over the floor right now at this point, Joe.
The last 5 made field goals in this game have been three-pointers. And that streak stands for now, but not for much longer, as the lay-in from Brodeur-Muir is good, and Stack back ahead by 3.
A missed layup there, but Brodeur-Muir was able to easily get the offensive rebound with nobody boxing out for the Dolphins.
This is Alarcon, and she finishes off the Euro step. Nice move by Jenelise.
Nice job there by Alarcon, taking it to the rim, able to lay it up and in.
Ball in the corner with Erickson. She spins past Arvello, drops it off to Brodeur-Muir, who kicks out up top. The Spartans work it around the perimeter. Again, Erickson with it. She dumps it off to Huertas, and her three-pointer is no good, but the offensive board goes to Leary. 15 to shoot for Stack. And I think we have another foul called along the baseline. We do. It's against Ashley Lambert.
Lots of fouls here. We're going to get a timeout, but 3 fouls for the Dolphins, 2 for Stack. Media timeout. We come back. Kaya Johnson and G. Esposito will be checking into the game for the Dolphins.
Dolphins trail by 1 heading into our first commercial break. Our score 11-10 in favor of St. Thomas Aquinas College.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
And we're back from the tank. Dolphins trailing by 1 as we approach 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter. And Nick, it's been a very back and forth first 5 minutes plus. What have you seen that stood out through the opening minutes?
Well, lots of fouls when teams are going to the basket. Arvello able to capitalize on that to start the game. It was 2-0 for a while after for first free throws. But after that, it was a lot of three-pointers. Lambert had the nice offensive rebound there. Alarcon had a bunch of offensive rebounds. Leading the way right now for the Dolphins scoring-wise is Arvello. He had the three and the free throws. And Stack, they're shooting the threes and they're using their height to their advantage right now on the offensive glass as well.
So the Spartans will inbound from along the baseline. 20 on the shot clock. Muir surveys the floor. This is Leary on the drive. She is met underneath by Masinge, and a good defensive play by Noemia to draw the offensive foul.
Good job there by Masinge to plant those feet and draw the charge.
Leary, her first, team's third.
Dolphins with a chance to take the lead. Johnson up top to Esposito. Back to Johnson. Now Arvello. Another three is short, and Johnson nearly took it away from Erickson, but Erickson able to pull in the board. The Spartans look to push, but the Dolphins do a good job getting back. Carisco drives baseline, and she was able to drop that ball off to Brodor Muir, who missed the layup off another offensive rebound. Brodor Muir cleans up the Carisco miss.
Well, the senior, 6'4" from Auckland, New Zealand, using her height to her advantage there to get the offensive rebounds and ultimately lay the shot up and in.
This is Johnson. Baseline floater is no good and rebounded by Erickson. Erickson goes right at Arvello, and she is whistled for the offensive foul, and that's a big call, Nick. That's her second.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's been great offensively, but now 4 fouls
Foul number 10,
for the Spartans here in this first quarter. 3 minutes, 11 seconds left to play.
Dolphins bring it up, trailing by 3. Still within 1 possession, 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Johnson surveys, has Esposito left corner. And she was looking for Johnson on the kick out, but good active hands by Leary along the baseline. Turnovers continuing to plague the Dolphins in the opening quarter. 15 on the shot clock. And on the step back 3, that is Huertas, and it's no good. But another offensive board goes to the Spartans. Leary can't connect from the baseline, and here comes Arvello back the other way for CSI. Johnson looking to use the Alarcon screen, gives it up to Arvello. Esposito into Alarcon. Masinge open in the corner off the feed from Alarcon, and that is no good. Down to the floor goes a pair of Spartans along with Arvello, and Stack comes away with it again. Bounce pass inside, knocked away and stolen by CSI. Esposito has Johnson, and Johnson is whistled for traveling.
Crazy possession there. You don't see Masinge take many threes, and then it comes back the other way. Dolphins get the turnover. Esposito kicks it to Johnson, and Johnson travels.
Dolphins now with 5 turnovers, the Spartans with 4. Still 2 minutes to play in the opening quarter.
Lambert back in for Arvello for the Dolphins.
And on the pull-up, that shot is short and rebounded by the Dolphins. And we have another CSI turnover, this time committed by Kaya Johnson right in front of the Spartans bench. That was Yarasevichuta on that last jump shot. I had to glance down at my pronunciation guide before I took a shot at that one. Hopefully I got it correct as the bounce pass inside finds a wide open Brodor Muir, and the lead for the Spartans is now 5 points.
Head coach William Cleary very happy with the way his team is closing out this quarter.
Dolphins offense has been stymied for the last several minutes. That's a good look for Esposito, and she knocks down her first three-pointer of the game.
Mamma mia! It's Gia for three.
G-Money from beyond the arc. Dolphins with the steal. Chance to tie or take the lead. LaFaro to the basket, and she is rejected.
Gia wants the ball.
And Esposito will try again, and the Dolphins take the lead.
G-Money! Back-to-back threes for Esposito. And the Dolphins now up once again. 16-15 with 25 seconds left.
Way to stick with that possession by CSI to earn another shot attempt, as that was poked away by Alarcon. Odor Muir out to Huertas. She uses the screen. Looks to drive left, feed inside, tipped, and possession belongs to the Spartans.
All right, 9 seconds left here. The Spartans got 6 seconds, though, on the shot clock.
And once again, the pass knocked away by Alarcon off the inbound, so with 5 to shoot, Spartans will try again on an inbound pass from the baseline. .7 on the game clock, so the Dolphins won't have much time if they do get another possession. Feed inside, and that shot will count. 3 seconds to shoot for the Dolphins. Esposito heaves one, and that is off the window, no good. So the lead for Stack will be a single point through the first 10 minutes. Our score after one, St. Thomas Aquinas College 17, CSI 16. Second quarter coming up after this break.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto.
And we are back from the tank. Dolphins trailing by a single point at the start of the second quarter. Chance to take the lead once again here, and Esposito airballs that three. A look of disgust on her face after she threw up that shot.
She's not happy about it. Not happy at all.
Absolutely not. She's not accustomed to many of those, as Huertas can't connect from downtown, but on the offensive board and putback attempt, Leary is fouled and will head to the line for 2 shots.
Gotta be weary of Leary. Leary had that big three earlier. Leary's 6 foot, able to use her height to her advantage to get the offensive rebound and force the foul.
So far, neither team has used many players. It looks like just 7 players so far for each side. First free throw from Leary is good, so the lead extended to 2 points for the Spartans. And Leary makes it 2 of 2 from the line. Dolphins trail by 3. This is Esposito. She's been heavily involved in the offense since checking into the game. Now Lambert in the corner. She gets it into Masinge, who is immediately swarmed. And the Spartans nearly force a turnover, but that tipped pass leaves the Dolphins with only 9 to shoot.
9 seconds here, so Dolphins have to move quick.
Johnson uses the Masinge screen. 3 on the shot clock. Pull up from Johnson. No good. Offensive board to Masinge. And her follow is blocked. Masinge goes down. And I think the initial call was Spartans basketball, but it is overruled. So possession belongs to CSI. 17 on the shot clock. And the Dolphins will inbound from the baseline. The officials will confer, and I believe it was regarding the shot clock, but the timekeeper had it right, and the Dolphins will inbound. Johnson for Lambert, up top to LaFaro. She tries another 3, no good, and Leary pulls in the rebound.
Dolphins have certainly taken a lot of threes to this point.
And a foul called against the Dolphins underneath. Send Huertas to the line.
Dolphins foul number 4, Kaya Johnson, her first, team
That's
second.
Kaya Johnson's first, the team's second. Arvello and Carisco check into the game for CSI and Stack, respectively. And the first free throw from Huertas is good. One more from the line, and it's a 2-for-2 trip to the stripe for Alexa Huertas.
Stack with their biggest lead of the day so far, 6 points.
Arvello to Esposito. Now Arvello again. Dolphins having trouble working it inside the arc right now as they repeatedly are being stifled at the three-point line. This is Esposito out to LaFaro. LaFaro met with 2 defenders, and the call is traveling against Lizzie LaFaro.
Well, Dolphins here need to be careful with the turnovers because at this point, Stack is scoring at a higher rate, whether it's for the free throw line or just shooting and getting to the rim.
Dolphins 4 of 11 from downtown. That accounts for 12 of their 16 points. That's a good defensive play there to cut off the passing lane. Dolphins have numbers, and Lambert throws one off the bottom of the rim, but she was fouled.
Lambert will head to the free throw line. Dolphins have been pretty solid this season from the free throw line, and it's been a great way for them to get back into a lot of games this season with the clock stopped.
Teams first.
And that's something we left out of our pregame keys to success for the Dolphins in this one. Whenever CSI has had to come back in games or has been very competitive, it's been on the back of free throw attempts. And if this team can't get inside of the three-point line and attack the basket and draw those fouls, it's going to be very tough for them to remain close. But so far, they've done a good job defensively, and right there, they earn another possession hustling after that rebound.
Dolphins looking to trade the 1 free throw for 2 or maybe 3 points.
And it will be 3 points, Nick, as that's a great find off the inbound by Lizzie LaFaro. Esposito wide open. She has 3 from beyond the arc.
G off to a great start this afternoon. She didn't even celebrate that one. Remember before, she was disgusted at the air ball. That one stone cold. Hell yeah with the 3.
Huertas with the deep 2-point attempt. That's no good. And Masinge pulls in the rebound and is fouled. So that is, if I'm not mistaken, the second team foul on the Spartans. Both teams with a pair of fouls in the second quarter.
Her first, team second.
Well, if you get a look right now, Joe, at the intensity on Gia Esposito's face, it looks to me like she is about ready to try to take over this game.
Tasked with chasing her around the perimeter have been several Spartans on that last possession. It was Yarosevic who was trying to chase Esposito around. She got hit with a screen on the baseline, but that screen resulted in the offensive foul.
Yep, LaFaro with the foul there. so Gia's shot did not count.
Doubled underneath and forced to kick out was Carisco. And down to the floor and called for the travel was Chanel Brodor-Muir. So the Dolphins beginning to play some good defense on the interior. They really have all game long. They've swarmed inside. The big issue has been closing possessions with the defensive board.
Absolutely has been an issue, but Alarcon's getting ready to check back in, so that should take care of some of the issue.
Really remarkable. Both teams with 7 offensive rebounds already. We're not even 4 minutes into the second quarter, as LaFaro nearly traveled and turns it over anyway. To the rim goes Reggio, and
great defense there by Christina Arvello. Swatting the ball away and then hits it off her opponent, and it goes out of bounds, and the Dolphins will get possession.
Well, you said it, Nick. More great defense by the Dolphins on the inside. That time, Christina Arvello knocking the ball off of Reggio, and CSI brings it up, nearly turns it over again. And now Lambert open for 3. That's no good, and it's rebounded by the Spartans.
Pretty decent look there, but Dolphins no shot there with the offensive rebound.
Huertas on the drive, floats one up, and it's rebounded by Masinge. Here comes Arvello looking to push. Spartans get back. This is Lambert. She finds Alarcon, who is double-teamed, and Alarcon nearly threw it away, and the foul is called against the Spartans.
Clearly, Lambert was pushed there.
Spartans foul number 22, Julia.
Dolphins have to be just a bit quicker on those outlet passes from the paint, because anytime an offensive player catches the ball around the rim, they're facing a double team. If they can make that decision quicker and get that ball out to the perimeter, they should have open shooters. Spartans committed to not letting CSI beat them in the paint at the offensive end. 7 to shoot. Masinge, scoop layup, no good. Rebounded by Alarcon. Lambert floats one up. That is no good. And it's rebounded by Leary.
Well, Joe, what I'm noticing here right now is when the Dolphins are getting those offensive rebounds, they're very quick to put up the shot, and perhaps they should reset up the offense because, as you mentioned, there are open shooters on the perimeter.
Dolphins need to find a balance right now between kickouts and taking too many, or I should say not taking too many three-pointers. As I said before, the Dolphins have 13 three-point attempts. They've now made 5 of those, and they're shooting 6 of 22 in the game, so you do the math.
Right.
6 made shots, 5 made threes. The Dolphins need to work the ball inside. A 3-second violation was the call at the other end against the Spartans, so that resulted in the turnover. Dolphins have 12 to shoot. They try another 3, and once again it's rebounded by Leary.
Not the best attempt there from Arvello.
Left-handed floater underneath by Carisco is no good, and the Dolphins drew another foul, so that puts CSI 1 Spartans foul away from the bonus situation, but we will have a timeout inside of 5 minutes to play in the half. Our score remains 21-20, still a 1-point Spartans lead with 4:41 on the clock in the second quarter.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
And we're back from the tank. The Dolphins still trailing by a single point. Just as we opened up the second quarter, we find ourselves with 4:41 on the clock, and right there, you got to look at us from the rear. That was our pregame
Look at that
camera.
head of hair, Joe. I mean, tremendous job by you with the blow dryer this morning.
Great job by my L'Oreal for Men to keep my hair nice and dark, as I have to always make sure I dye it before I come on camera. It doesn't look quite
Keith
right.
Hernandez and Walt Clyde Frazier would be
That's
very
right.
proud.
Well, they might not be, because I'm using L'Oreal, not just for
maybe
men.
they would, because I haven't seen him do a commercial in quite some time, so perhaps
That's true.
Perhaps there was something going on there, but we're having fun here, and It's a good game so far. Stack up by 1, 21-20 with 4:41 left in the first half. Dolphins to inbound.
Dolphins have been unable to get over the hump since early in this quarter. They've trailed by between 1 and 3 for the majority of this game. This is Lambert. Back up top to Esposito. Inside to Alarcon. Back out to Lambert. Now Masinge. Dolphins just can't get the ball into the paint. And they will now have 6 to shoot, inbounding from right in front of us.
That almost took out our monitor there, Joe. Luckily, we had the table here to prevent it from bouncing straight into it.
5 on the shot clock. Esposito has to work quickly. She drives to her left. Step back. Off back iron, and
I think she got it off in time, but she
definitely got it off.
Officials checking with us. Maybe he didn't like my call, but I'm pretty sure she got the shot off in time.
I thought for sure she got it off. Didn't matter as it didn't go down. I didn't see who grabbed the board, so maybe the Dolphins had a possession taken away there if they grabbed the rebound, but the officials defiantly signaled no shot as Masinge pulls down the rebound off that last miss. Dolphins with another chance to take the lead. Lambert, wide open 3 is good, and CSI back in front by 2.
Cha-ching! Cashley Lambert for 3. She's lethal in the corner, and she puts the Dolphins ahead 23-21 with that big three-pointer.
We've talked about the Dolphins' struggles getting the ball into the paint. The Spartans have had no such struggles as Brodor Muir finishes again, but for this Stack offense, they have not scored nearly as much as they're accustomed to so far in this game, and the Dolphins have done a good job defensively. Both teams have.
Dolphins certainly forcing a lot of turnovers in this one.
Masinge has it with 12 to shoot. Now Lambert. Lambert crossover to her left, and it's knocked away. Reggio heads back the other way off the steal and gives it up to Leary. Now Huertas. Inside of 3 minutes to play in the first half. Low-scoring game so far. Both teams have done a good job defensively. And unable to finish underneath is Yarosevic-Chuda, but
5th foul on Stack now as Masinge is fouled.
The miss.
She's going to head to the free throw line.
The miss compounded by the 15th foul, as you said, Nick. So the Dolphins will head to the line, and for the next 2 minutes and 39 seconds, CSI will be in the bonus.
Well, Joe, for the Dolphins, what they're trying to do offensively is get the ball to Genelise Alarcon inside. But right now, she's been a non-factor because Stack knows the scouting report. They know if she gets the ball in the paint, she's likely going to score, and they have been swarming her with double and triple teams all day long so far, and she only has 2 points.
Well, we said in the pregame, look out for a potential double-double from Alarcon to end the season, and right now, it's been a struggle in the scoring department as Masinge goes 2 of 2 from the line. CSI back ahead by 2, and substitution coming on for the Spartans.
Alarcon has done a good job on the glass, though, giving the Dolphins a lot of second-chance opportunities.
Caitlin Wachowski into the game for Stack. The Spartans have 15 to shoot. And that is off the foot of Masinge. So 12 to shoot for Stack. They trail by 2, and the Dolphins' offense might be beginning to find some rhythm. So if you're the Spartans, you want to make sure this game doesn't inch toward a double-digit lead before the half. Not much time left in the opening half. That's Huertas from downtown, and she knocks down the 3. And they'll say she was towing the line, so that might get reviewed. We'll cue that one up in case, but that was close.
Defensively for the Spartans, though, what they've done is they said, we're going to take away the paint, we're going to double-team Alarcon, but that's led to some open shots for Lambert and Esposito. And for the most part, those two have been able to capitalize on their open looks.
You said it, Nick. They have had the paint on lock all game long, but that physical style of defense around the basket has put the Dolphins in a bonus situation, and Masinge can make it 4 points from the line without even having to attempt a shot. She has 2 upcoming from the stripe, a chance to give the Dolphins the lead again. And her first free throw is good. Melissa Alifano into the game for the Spartans. Ahead of that first free throw, and once again, Masinge goes 2 for 2.
Masinge doing a great job from the free throw line today. 4 points.
Dolphins lead by a pair again. Spartans working it around the outside. This is Reggio back to the basket, defended by Esposito. And not much Esposito could do there, as that's an easy 2.
Great job there by Reggio, using her wingspan to her advantage.
Reggio had a distinct size advantage, as we have another whistle underneath, and it looks like Noemi Masinge is headed right back to the free throw line.
Well, if it's going to keep working, might as well keep giving the ball to Masinge and getting her to the free throw line, so each possession she can give the Dolphins back the lead.
Well, I just took a look at the Spartans' scoring average for the season. They only average 61 points a game, so right now it appears they're on track to get there. Masinge has hit 5 straight from the line. Looks to make it 6, and she does.
Perfect so far.
Huertas brings it across the center court line as we approach 1 minute remaining in the first half. We had another substitution as well for the Spartans, as Huertas tries a 3, that one behind the line, and Alarcon comes away with the rebound.
Alarcon just fell there. It looked like she got pushed, but no foul called.
Lambert for 3, and that's good as Lambert hits the deck, and she's fired up.
Well, she said, let something go. Don't know what she said, but she was pumped up right there. Another 3 for Lambert, 10 points so far.
Whatever it was, I'm sure it was family friendly, as the Dolphins take a 4-point lead, and I think they changed that to a 2, Nick. So we may have to check that replay, as we have a foul committed underneath by the Dolphins.
If we got the replay, we'll definitely take a look at when we get a chance, but I thought that was a clear 3, Joe.
I caught Lambert hitting the floor as Alarcon went down. I had my attention there.
Her first, team's 4th.
Spectators believe that foul took place before the shot, and that was a question I had as well. Certainly a possibility. But Brodeur Muir will get 2 from the line, and the spectators claiming the ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie. You always can count on Kaya Johnson's family to give us some extra commentary here. We always appreciate it. Very vocal fans, proud supporters of Kaya.
We'll have to have some family members on at one point.
Absolutely.
So the Dolphins have the last shot if they want it. The shot clock is turned off as we approach the final 15 seconds of the half. CSI's lead is 3 points. This is Masinge. Masinge spins, bounce pass to Alarcon, and she has it knocked away. 4 seconds on the clock for the Spartans. 1 second remaining. And that heave is off the mark, and that will send us to halftime as Jenny Palmer threw one up there at the buzzer. The shot no good. Dolphins lead 31-28 at the half. When we come back, the final 20 minutes of this East Coast Conference women's basketball matchup.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island. Be sure to check out the Kettle Black's monthly calendar of events, only at kettleblackbar.com.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Hi, Meals on Wheels.
I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels.
I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Hi, Meals on Wheels. I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels. I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back.
when you want to talk, I'm here.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Stop to make sure someone is okay.
Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Cobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Cobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Car is damaged? Where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4899.
And we are back from the College of Staten Island. Dolphins with a lead heading into the second half, 31-28. CSI trailed for a large portion of that first half, Nick, but at the end of the second quarter really began to turn it up at the offensive end. They shot the ball very well from downtown, and as we spoke about in the pregame, that is going to be key to their success the rest of the way.
Tremendous job by the Dolphins there to close out the half. Lambert, 9 points. Esposito with 9 points. Although I think Lambert has 10 points, because there was a 2 before, but Masinga had 6. And overall, they did a solid job. And offensive rebounds, 8 rebounds offensively for the Dolphins.
Spartans have the first possession of the second half, 15 to shoot. On the drive, that was Carisco, and the ball is knocked away by CSI, but they cannot keep it in bounds as the Dolphins will leave the Spartans with 9 on the shot clock inbounding from the baseline. We said it time and time again during the first half, and I'll make the point after this possession as that jumper is no good by Erickson. And as I was going to say, Nick, the Dolphins, 8 made field goals in the first half, 6 of those 3-pointers, and they were 9 of 10 from the line.
Yeah, and St. Thomas Aquinas was, you see that made shot there, but St. Thomas Aquinas, 5 of 8 from the free throw line, so solid shooting there as well, but they shot 10 of 27, Dolphins 8 of 26, so overall, not the best shooting performance here by either team. Free throws have kept both teams alive.
And we just had another offensive rebound for Stack off the miss by Erickson. Foul called underneath against the Dolphins. Now, was it in the act of shooting? I don't think so. So the Spartans will inbound from the baseline with 20 on the shot clock.
Dolphins foul number 3, Noemi Masinge, her second, team's first.
That's Masinge's second. Team's first of the quarter. And Leary's 3 is no good. Another offensive board goes to Brodor Muir. Along the baseline, Carisco barely able to get that ball out. And the three-pointer by Erickson is good. So she's now one of her first 3 in the second half, and the Spartans are back to within 2.
Erickson had the first point of the game for Stack to start the game, and adds another three-pointer. Both of her points, three-pointers.
This is Masinge, crossover to her left, bounce pass to Alarcon. Alarcon reverse layup, no good, rebounded by Masinge, and she went down hard as that ball was taken away by Carisco.
It's been quite the battle all day for Masinge on the glass.
Noemia sprung right back up to her feet, and she's back defensively. Carisco from the right corner, and the game is tied at 33.
Victoria Carisco.
Carisco there with the big shot. Her first made points of the game.
Lambert thought about the 3. Now Arvello finds LaFaro. She tries the 3, and that is good. Lizzie LaFaro from downtown.
Lizzie, as always, with the lucky roll there, and it goes in. And LaFaro gets her first points of the game.
Lizzie can get going at the offensive end. That would certainly help the Dolphins maintain a lead as Masinge knocked that away from Leary on the drive, and it will remain Spartans basketball. And Leary will take a seat as Julia Reggio checks back into the game. Carisco left wing, and she now drives right. Kick out into the right corner. Huertas tries a 3, and that is good.
All game long, it seems like when the Dolphins are going to pull away, Stack has an answer, and a lot of times it's been Huertas.
This quarter following a very similar script to the first quarter. LaFaro double-teamed, and offensive foul called against Lizzie once again. She can't believe it.
Well, to quote LaFaro there on her lips, she said, "I didn't do anything."
For third, team second.
That is the team's second at the 6:40 mark in the third. Nice passing there by the Spartans, but Brodor Muir couldn't corral that last one. Instead, she finds the open Reggio for 3, and Stack back ahead by 3.
Reggio with the big shot there. We'll see how the Dolphins answer.
Masinge out to Lambert. Lambert, three-pointer, air ball, and rebounded by Huertas.
Too powerful there on that shot when past the rim.
Spartans have numbers, and they take full advantage as Huertas knocks down another 3. It's a 6-point lead for Stack.
Huertas heating up here, leading her team with 13 points.
Spartans heating up quickly. Dolphins need a basket to snap this run. Lambert has Arvello. She drives right, now crosses over left and finds Alarcon. Alarcon drives the baseline, drew the whistle, but that shot will not count.
Spartans foul, number 21, Victoria Carisco, her third.
And for Carisco, that's her third personal, so she will take a seat.
Esposito back in for LaFaro for the Dolphins.
For the first time, Liliana Kramer will check into the game. 20 on the shot clock for the Dolphins. Alarcon out to Esposito. Deep three-pointer, no good. Off to the right and rebounded by Masinge. Esposito to Masinge. Now Arvello will try a 3. And Christina Arvello connects from long range.
Well, Joe, it seems like all afternoon here there has been an open shooter for the Dolphins. And we'll see if they can continue to capitalize on those opportunities.
5 straight made field goals for the two teams have come from beyond the arc. Huertas will try again. No good. She can't make it 3 straight. And Arvello was fouled as she battled for the rebound. So the Dolphins will have it. That will be the second team foul for the Spartans. The Spartans now shooting over 53% from downtown. The Dolphins at 42. It has been a battle of three-point shooting so far in this game. Esposito hoists up another three. No. And rebounded by Alarcon. Alarcon, through a double team, is stifled at the rim. And the rebound goes to the Spartans. Erickson, nice move on the up and under, but she can't finish. Masinge with the board. Esposito to Arvello. 20 on the shot clock. This is Alarcon. Alarcon takes it inside, throws one up, and that's no good.
Alarcon continuing to be swarmed as soon as she gets in the paint.
Just no openings to be found for Alarcon inside, but the Spartans haven't had an easy time getting it into the paint either. 15 on the shot clock. Erickson to Huertas. Defended by Esposito. 10 to shoot. Feed inside, right on target for Reggio. And Arvello commits the foul.
Fans not happy with the call, but it rains and we'll have a timeout.
And with that, we head to a media timeout. Dolphins trail by 3 our score with 3:54 remaining in the third. The Spartans 42 and CSI 39.
Car is damaged. Where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Car is damaged. Where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car.
And we are back from the tank. Dolphins trailing by 3, but Nick, it has been a battle of the three-point shot. And from the way this game has played out so far, it seems that the team that is able to find any semblance of offense in the paint will be the team that gains the advantage.
Yeah, and the paint's been swarmed, so both teams are doing a good job in that sense. But there's been a lot of offensive rebounds as well, so it's kind of surprising in that sense. However, most of the points have come from the field this game.
Spartans looking for 2 points from the line as Julia Reggio heads to the stripe for 2 shots, her team leading by 3 points. And the first of the pair is good. And Reggio goes 2 of 2 from the line. The largest lead for Stack has been 6. The largest lead for the Dolphins, 5. So the Spartans within 1 point of matching that right now. Dolphins may have something to say about that as Johnson kicks out to Esposito. Now Arvello off the fake pass. This is Esposito again. Now Arvello. Masinge. Crossover to her right. And she looked to power her way inside, but is stripped.
Great defense there by Stack.
Reggio, wide open 3. Rattles out. That was halfway down, and Masinge comes up with the rebound.
Masinge has done a great job on the glass all afternoon.
Masinge in the game now after that last board has 10. This is Esposito on the drive, and the Dolphins need much more of that.
Nice little finger roll there by Esposito, taking it to the hole and laying it up and in. And that was her first points that were not three-pointers of the game as well.
I think the Dolphins really need their biggest three-point threats to attack the basket a bit because they're the ones drawing the defense to the perimeter. And right there, Esposito drew in the defense and then split that stack zone. That's Erickson for 3, no good. And the rebound is tipped out to Esposito. Esposito, cross-court pass to Arvello. She's open for three. No good. And Erickson has another rebound. Erickson had a miscommunication there with Reggio in the corner, and the Spartans turn it over.
Dolphins still down 3. Could tie it on this possession.
Carolina Jarosevic into the game. That was one of 2 stacked substitutions. Aaron Leary checked back in as well. 15 on the shot clock for the Dolphins, trailing by 3. Arvello in the right corner looks to drive baseline, and I think the foul came before the shot. And it did. So the Dolphins will inbound from the baseline with 20 to shoot.
Carolina Jarosevic, her third, team's third.
$20 on the shot clock for CSI. Johnson, the inbounder. She has Esposito. Arvello finds Johnson again. Johnson out to Alarcon off the fake. She drives and kicks out once again. 10 on the shot clock. In the corner, that is Masinge, and she does not get the roll. Here comes Erickson back the other way. Erickson surveys the floor, kicks it up top. Spartans working around the perimeter. Back to the basket. That is Carisco. Carisco out to Leary. Her deep 2, no good. Fight for the rebound, and Arvello comes away with it. Arvello on the break. And she will slow things down. This is Johnson in the corner, and she's called for traveling.
Second time she has traveled today.
1 minute remaining in the third quarter. Erickson, bounce pass to Reggio, no whistle, and Reggio will go right back up with it, can't finish. Alarcon with the rebound.
You know, when that hotline rings, it can only mean one thing, and we're under a minute left here. Dolphins still trailing by 3.
Dolphins can go 2 for 1. This is Alarcon, kick out. Esposito, three-pointer, no good. And the rebound goes to Leary, but the Dolphins do secure 2 for 1. On the drive and drawing the foul was Carisco. She tried to finish with the left.
You go in the paint today, and it's almost as if you're going to feel you got a full mouth of metal, Joe, when you're getting rejected, because the defense has been insane this afternoon in the paint for both teams.
One more shot coming from the line for Carisco. And she goes 2 of 2 from the stripe. 5-point lead for the Spartans. Shot clock is turned off. Under 20 seconds to play in the third quarter. Inside of 10 seconds to play, this is Arvello, and she stepped on the sideline.
Not good court awareness there. And now Stack has a chance to add to her lead with 6.6 seconds left in the third quarter.
6.6 on the clock. Here comes Carisco. 4 seconds remaining. She wanted Erickson, didn't have her, tries the deep 2, and that is off the mark as the third quarter comes to a close with the Dolphins trailing by 5. Our score through the first 30 minutes, Stack 46, CSI 41.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it?
And we are back from the College of Staten Island. Final quarter coming up in this East Coast Conference battle between the College of Staten Island and St. Thomas Aquinas College. And Nick, the Dolphins took a 3-point lead into the halftime locker room. Things turned around for the Spartans in the third quarter. They now lead by 5, an 8-point swing. What changed?
Yeah, Huertas was just phenomenal there. Had all the answers, knocking down the big threes. Erickson as well. Joe, we always love it when our fans write into us during the broadcast. Got a message here from Melissa, who wanted to shout out, wanted to congratulate her and Brett on getting a new lease. Snooki says, where's the beach? Their new lease is on the beach, a waterfront property. They celebrated this morning by going to see their favorite Starbucks barista, Taryn. So congrats to those two, and we appreciate when we get all those fan comments and requests.
Love to hear it. Our viewers living it up to the fullest and tuning in here on the ECC network. Love to hear it. As the Dolphins, looking for a stop here, have left the Spartans with just 5 to shoot. That's Brodor Muir. Left-handed finish is good off the window.
Well, right now, Stack with their largest lead of the game.
7-point lead for the Spartans. Dolphins still only have 4 made field goals that have not come from three-point range. Only 12 made shots in the game. This is Alarcon with the left, and she banks it in.
You're going to want to see a lot more of that here in the fourth quarter. If you are Coach Nicole Sarcone, everything will be peachy if that can continue.
Huertas kick out for Erickson. Three-pointer, no good. Alarcon tips it, but right to Esposito, and she looks to push. Gia gives it up to Kaya Johnson, and the Dolphins will get set in their half-court offense. 20 on the shot clock. Johnson up top to Esposito. She has Lambert on the right wing. Lambert to Johnson. 10 to shoot. And that was off the fingertips of Huertas with 9 remaining on the shot clock.
Well, Joe, we'll see here if the Dolphins look to go back in the paint. If they continue that, and they are swarming, there is going to be open shooters. But as you mentioned, very limited points from the field outside of the three-pointers.
Well, that basket by Alarcon was her first since the opening minutes. And she tries for one more, can't get it to go, grabs her own miss, and banks it in with the left again.
Well, Joe, I did before the game say double-double. 6 points now, 4 there on back-to-back possessions. We'll see if Alarcon could make a huge impact down the stretch here, last 7 minutes and 48 seconds.
Noemi and Masinge also on double-double watch with 8 points and 10 rebounds. And the Dolphins continuing to do well in the passing lanes. Only 6 to shoot for Stack. And we have a jump ball underneath. Possession arrow will favor the Spartans. So with 5 to shoot, Stack will inbound from the baseline. Big 5 seconds coming up for both teams. Dolphins need a stop. Spartans looking to keep momentum on their side, and that shot rolls off the rim, rebounded by Alarcon. Johnson looked to attack, and that's an offensive foul as Johnson lost the ball and then barreled over the defender. Three Spartan substitutions. We'll make that 2. Waiting to check in as Huertas and Carisco both enter the game. That foul only the first of this fourth quarter. .20 on the shot clock. This is Erickson, defended by LaFaro. Brodor Muir looking, picks up her dribble, has Huertas. Now 10 on the shot clock. Carisco goes right at Esposito, but can't get it to go. And the Dolphins come up with another stop. Esposito for LaFaro. Great pass, but Lizzie is rejected on the inside.
an emphatic block there, and a good amount of fans here. You can't see them on your camera because all the fans are behind us. The only people you're seeing right now behind the benches are players who will be playing in the next game.
This crowd undoubtedly one of our largest since New Year's, as spectators begin to file in for Men's Senior Day coming up next. Esposito's pull-up is good, and Gia Esposito pulls the Dolphins back to within one.
And Gia did a little hand movement, kind of saying, take that. So 48-47 now. Dolphins coming back in this one.
And a Spartans turnover will give possession right back to CSI, trailing by just a single point, as the Dolphins will now have an opportunity to take the lead with a basket.
Well, Joe, maybe the Dolphins here are going to try to take advantage of some mid-range opportunities, as we've been seeing as of late.
There's a mid-range shot, and Arvello puts it up off back iron, no good. Reggio heads back the other way with it for the Spartans. Look to take it at Lambert. Good job defensively by Ashley. And the shot by Carisco is off, and a foul called on the fight for the rebound underneath. I believe it went against Rodor Muir. It did.
For third, team's first.
First team foul there. So one team foul piece here for both teams in the fourth quarter. 6 minutes left. It's been a great one, and it's going to get very exciting here down the stretch.
We've had a lot of very exciting finishes so far this year in both men's and women's games. These two Dolphins teams have not been short on exciting finishes, and we appear well on our way to another this afternoon in the season finale for this Dolphins team. Alarcon to Arvello, 15 on the shot clock. Arvello has Lambert, open three-pointer, splash, and the Dolphins lead by 2.
Ashley!
50-48, Dolphins back in front. Does Stack have an answer? They do, and that is Victoria Carisco taking it straight to the basket for the game-tying layup. That was far too easy. Media timeout on the floor, and with 5:32 remaining in the fourth quarter, we are tied at 50.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back from the tank. The Dolphins and Spartans are tied at 50. This has been a back-and-forth game from the beginning. The largest lead for either team, 7 points, and that lead belonged to Stack. Not too long ago, the Dolphins have closed the gap and gotten even.
Yeah, Gia Esposito had that big two-pointer, saying take that. Ashley Lambert with the huge three, put the Dolphins ahead. Stack comes right back and ties it up. And all game, it's been back and forth, back and forth.
We highlighted Lambert and Esposito at the top of the show, along with Jenelise Alarcon. And Esposito has 13, Lambert has 12. We remain on double-double watch for Alarcon. She has 6 points and 11 rebounds. And right here, she looks to drive, finds Masinge, who's also closing in on a double-double, but that last attempt no good. And Dolphins couldn't keep the ball in bounds, so it will be Spartans basketball with 5:10 remaining, score even at 50.
6 of Masinge's 8 points have come from the free throw line in the first half.
Masinge just 1 of 6 from the field. Alarcon 3 of 10. Lambert and Esposito easily CSI's most efficient shooters, 4 of 9 and 5 of 9 respectively. 3 of 6 and 3 of 7 from beyond the arc respectively. 8 to shoot for the Spartans. Around the back goes Erickson, and the two-pointer is good.
Sarah Erickson has been the answer all day for Stack. When they need a big shot, she's been there to make it.
Erickson now has 8. Alarcon weaves her way to the basket, contorts her body, and banks it in, this time with the right hand.
8 points now for her.
Alarcon for 2.
6 of those coming here the second half.
Alarcon having a big fourth quarter. Score knotted up again, this time at 52. 12 to shoot for the Spartans. Reggio to the basket, and she lays it up and in.
Right now, Joe, all the points are coming in the paint, which has been a big change-up from earlier in the game.
Well, we said it at the open of the fourth quarter. The team that was able to find offense on the inside more consistently would likely be the team that comes out on top, as we had a tie-up, and it remains CSI basketball.
I like that strategy there, Joe. They gave it to Alarcon kind of high in the paint. Traffic went to her. Esposito comes around and is open to take it to the basket. Just not a great shot there, but nice strategy there by the Dolphins.
Well, that's a great point, Nick. If the Dolphins can work out of the high post instead of the low post, there may be some more openings, and we'll see if they make that adjustment across the final 4 minutes. Esposito has it with 10 to shoot. This is Arvello. Arvello lost the handle, and it's taken away by Erickson. Spartans with a chance to make it a 2-possession game with a basket here. Huertas back to Erickson. Open three-pointer, no good, and rebounded by Masinge.
Big possession here for the Dolphins.
Stack got a great look there. Dolphins caught a break. Will now look to capitalize as Lambert has Alarcon. Three-pointer on the way, no good. But Esposito chases it down and saves it over to Erickson. So the Spartans have numbers, but Esposito does a good job of getting back. Huertas with the pull-up. That's not even close, but Reggio with the offensive board is able to bank it in.
Reggio with 12 points now. She's been dominating as of late on the glass.
Reggio has been huge in this fourth quarter as well. 4-point lead for Stack, and Nicole Sarcone calls timeout as Lambert hoisted up the three. That shot would not have counted. And we will head to break with the Dolphins trailing by 4, 2:35 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Car is damaged? Where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4890.
And we're back from the College of Staten Island. Dolphins trailing by 4 with 2:35 remaining in this fourth quarter. CSI looking to snap a 5-game losing streak. The Spartans looking to extend their 4-game winning streak. And a huge possession coming up right here for CSI. And they promptly turn it over as they were looking to run a play off of that inbound. It did not go as diagrammed.
Not a good way to come out of a timeout.
With a 3, Stack could make it a 3-possession game. Huertas with the fake, drives baseline, has Carisco, and wide open is Erickson again, and she makes the Dolphins pay from downtown. That is Sarah Erickson, who does make it a 3-score game.
Erickson, the Punisher, punishing the Dolphins here.
Dolphins now in dire need of a basket. Lambert to LaFaro. LaFaro kicks it out. Alarcon wants to drive. Scoop layup, no good, and rebounded by Brodeur-Muir.
This is big here because if Stack scores, the Dolphins play have to consider start fouling on the next possession.
No doubt CSI has to have a stop. This is Erickson. Now Huertas, Reggio, Has Brodor-Muir inside. She goes at Alarcon, and they're going to call an offensive foul. You don't see that called too often, the chicken wing, but that is indeed a foul, and that's a big break for the Dolphins as they will have another chance to make it a two-possession game again.
Dolphins have to score right now. On
No
this
doubt.
possession.
No doubt. Masinghe thought about a three. Now Lambert has it, and Nicole Sarcone will use another of her 3 remaining timeouts. So good use of their timeouts by the Dolphins as they look to diagram another play. And hopefully, if you're a fan of CSI, this play goes better than the last one. I would presume it's going to be a 30-second timeout. So we'll stay right here. Nick, what are you looking for out of this timeout?
Well, I like the use of the timeouts because the
No doubt.
timeouts don't carry over. This is the end of the season. Last game, you got 4 timeouts. Might as well use them before. So this time, though, you need to get a better play out of this possession here. My guess is they're going to get the ball to Alarcon in the paint, kind of let her see if she's swarmed. If she's not, she'll take it, try to shoot. If not, if she is swarmed, she's going to probably kick it out, try to get an open shooter here. Whether it's a 3 or a 2, it's really crucial the Dolphins get off a good shot and make it.
Well, whatever CSI does, they need to do it quickly. If they don't get the quick 2, I'm inclined to think they have to look for a 3. It's a 3-possession game, so they'll need at least 1 3-pointer the rest of the way to have a chance.
Right. Looks like Lambert and Esposito really engaged right now in what Coach Sarcone's telling them. So those are 3-point shooters. We're looking to see if they get a shot off.
21 on the shot clock, so if the Dolphins use the entire shot clock, we'd have about 50 to 51 seconds remaining in the game.
Get the shot relatively quick here.
It goes without saying, the Dolphins have to score. Lambert takes the handoff from Alarcon. They set a screen into the corner for Esposito. Alarcon, a little shaky on the catch, has Lambert, and that's short. LaFaro throws up a wild shot off the rebound, but Esposito has it off that miss. 55 seconds remaining. Esposito drives, and she can't convert on the easy 2.
Well, Joe, that might be it there. LaFaro missed a really wide-open layup. Esposito misses that. Dolphins here are going to have to foul and sweat it out for the last 44.4 seconds in the fourth quarter.
Dolphins foul number 14, Lizzie LaFaro, her 4th.
Well, it looks like this game is going to be decided by the scoring of these two teams down the stretch. When the Spartans needed big baskets, their offense delivered. The CSI offense did not. Dolphins' last made basket came with 4:28 remaining.
I think the Dolphins took too much time there to foul because they still have to foul 2 more times to get to the free throw line. About 10 seconds went off the clock there, almost.
And Lizzie LaFaro just fouled out of the game, and the Dolphins have only played 7 players, so if the Dolphins don't dig deeper onto the bench, should they pull off what would be, I think at this point, it's fair to say, a miracle come from behind comeback attempt, they only have 6 players who've entered the game.
Next foul will send Stack to the line.
Also, with those additional fouls to give came chances to force a turnover. The Dolphins didn't really come close on any of those inbound passes, so Huertas will head to the line. 2 shots upcoming, and you have to think if the Spartans hit at least one of these, it puts CSI in a very difficult spot where now they need 2 3-pointers. It quickly becomes 3 with 1 more make by Huertas. And she gives Stack a 9-point advantage. Timeout called by Nicole Sarcone and the Dolphins, but it appears, Nick, that time has run out on this game for the Dolphins.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but overall, a strong season for this team, building towards the future. All underclassmen. There's been a lot of bright spots for them. Alarcon, multi-time ECC Player of the Week. Lambert from 3-point range. Esposito off the bench most of the season. LaFaro's been solid, and there's a strong core here moving forward to the future.
No doubt about that, Nick. And for the Dolphins, they started the season 2-2, and unfortunately, once conference play got started, that's where CSI really began to struggle a bit. With this defeat, they would drop to 4-14 in the ECC. But you said it, a lot to look forward to in the future for this Dolphins team. Of course, another recruiting class being added to the squad next year. Some very good pieces on this roster. No seniors, so a chance to build chemistry throughout this year for a Dolphins team that will remain intact. We would assume next year, if no players transfer, we would expect the majority of this roster to be back. So that's an encouraging sign for this Dolphins team that many of these players have played pretty well and will be back next season. The Dolphins, of course, have an opportunity to add even more talent in the offseason. And, of course, next year, a big year, as this Dolphins program will be playoff eligible for the first time since all the way back, I believe now in 2018, 2019.
Yeah, it's been a while, and for the Lady Dolphins here, only a 9-person roster, so hopefully the new recruiting class gives us some more depth. You know, you're playing a team like the Spartans here who have 15 people on their roster. It does make a difference.
So Esposito drew the foul, got to the line, and hit both free throws, and that pulls CSI back to within 7, but with only 24.4 on the clock, the Dolphins need to force a turnover and then score immediately to have a shot.
You need 3 threes and all missed free throws, so it's asking a lot.
Now, I did mention earlier, mistakenly, that the Spartans had 1 game left. That game on their schedule that I saw will be part of the ECC Women's Basketball Conference Championship Tournament. Their first-round matchup right now is UDC. That game's scheduled for March 2nd at 7 p.m. So this is the last regular season game for Stack. And unfortunately, I'm not sure if that matchup is set in stone, but right now, listed on the Stack schedule page is a matchup with UDC coming up on Wednesday. So the Spartans do have playoff basketball to look forward to. We mentioned it at the top of the show. They've been very successful in conference. This win would move them to 12-6 in the ECC and pull them to within 1 game of 500 at the conclusion of their season. A win would move them to 13-14.
Yeah, you could watch their playoff game on the ECC network.
And the second free throw is no good by Reggio. So the Dolphins, trailing by 8, will use their final timeout with 21.3 on the clock. And you said it, Nick, these timeouts don't carry over to next season. There is no tomorrow for this Dolphins team. They have made the most of all of their timeouts and undoubtedly will diagram a play here ahead of what could be their final possession of the season.
Yes, it's probably a lot of motion going on in the huddle right now. It's been a long grind this season. Players started practicing back in the fall. You know, the roster was a little larger earlier in the year. Players in and out, battling with COVID protocols and whatnot this season. So regardless of the outcome here today in the last 6 games, these players should feel proud of themselves for what they did this season.
Well, for our viewers who will not be tuning in for the men's game, we do thank you for tuning in all season long. As Nick said during our pregame, it has been a joy for us to cover CSI Dolphins basketball. Another women's basketball season in the books with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Again, thank you to everyone who has tuned in all season long and to everyone who's helped made it possible for us to bring these broadcasts to you, as the Spartans will let the final seconds tick off the clock, and that will bring the regular season to a wrap for St. Thomas Aquinas College. They close out the season on a 5-game winning streak as they defeat the Dolphins 62-54. For the Dolphins, they drop their 5th straight to end the season, and overall for CSI, they fall to 6-20. So until our men's broadcast coming up in about 15 to 20 minutes. This has been Joe Foreman alongside Nick Durst. We thank all of our viewers at home for watching and for tuning in all season long. Once again, our final score, Stack 62, CSI 54, men's basketball, and our Senior Day presentation coming up next.